Hi there, it's Travis from Oddfellows Thoughts with another issue of Not on the Poll. This week I only had one comic that I picked up that wasn't on my pull list, and that was I, Vampire by Joshua Hale Falkov and Andrei Sorrentino. This comic, I wasn't going to pick it up. It's vampires. I'm not big into vampires. I mean, they're okay, but I haven't really been interested in reading vampires for quite some time, just because of all the vampire craze and whatnot. It's kind of been beat to death, I think. But I decided I'd pick this up anyway. I saw some interior art for it, and that made me pretty interested in it, just looking at that. Really surprised at this comic. I really enjoyed it. It's got a definite Vertigo flavor to it. If you're a Vertigo reader and you avoid the standard DC comics because, well, that's all superheroes and you're not into superheroes, pick this up. It's not superhero oriented. They talk a little bit about superheroes in it and the potential impact the superheroes might have on vampires' existence, but it's not superhero oriented. I mean, there may be superheroes in it at some point. There has to be, because these vampires are actually in the standard DC universe. If you don't read comics and you're interested in vampires, read this comic. It's a cool take on vampires. If you're into horror and reading horror stuff and you don't read comics, you should pick this up because it's an interesting read on the horror aspect and the take on vampires and vampires throughout the ages and whatnot. The art in this is gorgeous. It's one of the other things that gives it a Vertigo feel. It has that kind of a flavor to it. You know, it's not your standard four-color superhero affair. I love the take on vampires. The potential war that's coming with the vampires, which that sounds like, oh gosh, war of vampires. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same. It's one vampires. It sounds like fighting against his lover, or maybe even lover slash child that he created, vampire child that he created. Yeah. They bounce back and forth in the story between present and past. It's done very well. The relationship between the two, the protagonist and antagonist in this, is interesting. It's going to lead to some interesting stories down the road, I think. The vampiric powers they show in this, the way the artist renders them, is really cool. Like I said, this comic was a total surprise to me. I thought I would get it and then give you guys a review of, oh look, it's some version of Twilight, or it's some version of the Vampire Lestat stuff. Yawn. You know, I mean, some of that stuff is good, but we've seen it all before. Why would we want to see it again? This is a little different, it feels to me like. It's a great comic for DC to be putting out as far as giving readers something to read and be excited about besides the four-colored superhero comic. I would definitely say pick this up. I, Vampire. At any rate, that's it for this week. I'll talk to you again next week because I know I've got some things that still aren't on my pull list that I'll be picking up at the store to talk about those second issues of DC and anything else that I pick up along the way. I know so far it's been DC-centric, but that won't be the case. I do pick up books that are on the shelf when when I go to our semi-local comic book store. So I'll be talking about those in the future. At any rate, have a good one.